start now. Three, two, one.
Is there anyone here that would like to communicate with us?
Putting a dip in your hip, a glide in your stride. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe, with shows throughout the week. Everything you want, everything you could need. From the paranormal to the supernatural, from the spiritual to the unknown, from emotions to comedy. You can find us at Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and so much more. This is Rift Nation Network, the RNN. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
Good evening, travelers, and those alike. Welcome to the Orion Effect. I am your quintessential cosmic surfer and the one and only, the true social media hitman, Ed Odell.
And I'm Rhonda Dowdy, the one that tries to keep him in check.
Sometimes kind of we try.
Sometimes.
What's happening, Beach Lady? We're now calling you Beach Bunny.
Why not Beach Bunny?
I don't know. It sounds good. Beach Bunny. Is
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Oh, the BooCrue. The Blue Clues. In the BooCrue.
Not Blue's Clues.
Yeah. No clues there. But the BooCrue is in the house. Well, they're showing up. I'll let you say hello to your crew.
Hello, Shayla. Hello, Kim. And hello, Nikki.
Nikki, hello, Nikki. Hello, Kim. Hello, Shayla. And hello, Tyler. I see you in the background. With Tyler. Woo, look. We got a paranormal outlaw in the house. What? Bang, bang. Hello, Jim Livingston. How are you? Welcome. This is going to be a very special show. We're going to bring him on in just a minute. I'm in the light.
You're radiating there for a moment.
I know. It's spectacular. Look, the background. I'll stand still. Oh, hey, Jesse. How are you? Jesse from GOS, Ghost of Stanton, Virginia. Hello. Wow. The crew is in the house. Wow. We're starting out 14. Big. They're waiting for you, Tyler. Hey, Lisa. Wow. Yay. It's going to be a great show. We're going to be talking to Tyler in just a minute. He's in the blue room, chomping on cherries and drinking some wine. And yeah. Okay. We're doing some good, having some fun. It's been an interesting week. Rhonda.
Yeah.
What is your take on this energy shift, and have you been feeling it, and let you deliver the energy of the week?
Well, I have literally not delved into it at all to find out what might be happening astrologically or moon-wise or anything of that nature. But I can say, at least for me and several of my friends, we've had trouble sleeping. That's been in the forefront. It's like everybody's waking up between like 1 and 3 in the morning. Can't go back to sleep till like 5:30 in the morning. But I am hearing a lot of people saying that they just feel like everyone is off. Like everything is off kilter. Everybody's personalities are a little bit off. Everybody's not really behaving like themselves right now. I've seen a little about that. I haven't seen a lot of that, but I mean, it's something that's definitely I'm definitely hearing. For me, it's just felt like everything's been just a little wonky. I can't really pinpoint it on people, but I mean, I am hearing it from a lot of different people. Kim says she just wants to sleep through the night. She's one of my sounding boards. Like, are you having trouble sleeping? Because I'm having trouble sleeping. And then I reached out to Candy Schultz at Peaceful Easy Heat. I'm like, are you having trouble sleeping? She's like, did you put something on me? I was like, no, we've all got it.
Yeah.
So
I agree with you, and I'll follow up on that and saying there has been either a time or energy shift, It's been progressing for the last 2 weeks, but this week you kind of really felt it. You kind of felt it go click, turn, and releasing. There's retrogrades going on. Yes, we're aware of that. I have the problem with sleeping. Um, please, I'm going to put the hyperlink again. If you're new, please click the hyperlink below that says http://chat.restream.io/FB. All this is doing is allowing Restream to use your profile name. So, but I want to acknowledge who that was that said that just a second ago. Oh, James Spence. James Spencer's in the house. Hello, Spence. How are you? Hi, Rhonda. Harris Dow Duda and Ed Odell. Hello. Jimmy is saying last night was the first night I slept in a few minutes. Well, there's a reason for that. I'm not going to say it on air.
Yep. John Sullivan has joined us as well. And I'm seeing Shayla's having a hard time sleeping. Jesse's having a hard time sleeping. All of us are getting no sleep.
And it's like a breakup. It's like you'll get sleep, but there's periods where it just goes, now you're up. Now you go back to sleep. Or you don't even go back to sleep. I agree. I'm concur with everybody. I want to say hello to Mama Raven. She is in the house. Hello. The woman who takes care of all of us here on the network and makes sure we are 5x5, if you know their terminology. So yes, hello. And I agree with everyone. There's and not just sleep. There's up and down emotions going on. It's something, or we'll use that. Something is bringing people together, but also making wedges, which is really interesting. I've been seeing
it's
that.
a little bit like a Mercury in retrograde, where I think there's a lot of misunderstanding. Like people are just misinterpreting people. That's what it seems like to me.
Yeah, it's like a universal bottle of wine that's really potent, that's been sitting there for years. Spiritual wine. There's a new term.
It's not a love potion.
It's not number 9. I slept okay last night. Just went to bed too late. Oh, went to bed. Yeah, you know what? The last 2 nights, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Last 2 nights, I have sat here outside relaxing. I got one of the new Smirnoff ices, the one that tastes like the Patriot Pop. It tastes like a Patriot Pop. I don't know if you know what that is, or a firecracker pop. It tastes like a bomb pop. It tastes just like it looks. And I'm like, I think I found a new favorite thing. So, last couple of nights, come home, relax, sip on the bottle, talk to the roomie, or, talk to Sarah, or talk to Jimmy, or talk to the crew. Friday night, me and Renee and Keith were up till about 2 o'clock in the morning talking. So, I'm kind of finding that relaxing. You've got to breathe it out. Absolutely. Oh my God, emotional poop. Okay, we'll go with that one. James, was always a bourbon guy. You know what? Before we bring Tyler on, I've had this messed up throat for 3 weeks. In the last week, I'm going to not gonna lie, my cocktail of choice has been Crown Royal Peach, grape soda, and ice cream. Oh,
Weird mix right there. Grape soda and peach Crown Royal.
yes.
I would not have put those two together.
I wouldn't have
Tyler's
either.
making a face too. He's like, I don't know about that one.
But I tell you what, my sister from another mother down in Folks Run, Debbie, introduced me to the Sprite Crown Royal Peach, and it's actually really good. I did a Vader this week. That was pretty good. That's an interesting one. So kind of just working with my throat and bringing my happy-go-lucky, sparkle back into the house, because I've been really just kind of to myself, staying away from everybody. Kind of needed that time. And I go through these periods where I need to ground and get away from everybody. So I took that time, and Coors Light girl. Oh, yeah. That's like goat piss. Oops, sorry. Sorry. Jimmy's like, hell yeah, it's good. Deb's drink. Yep, exactly. So caramel, bourbon, cream, and root beer. Oh, that's good too. Look at y'all. We should not be talking about this right now. We're all going to get in trouble. But nevertheless, Rhonda, would you be the honor in introducing our special guest tonight?
Yes. My dear friend Tyler Darnell and his sidekick Oakley that I see back there of Covert Paranormal and part of one team of the BooCrue joining us tonight.
He is here. Oh,
Hello.
look. He's got a neon ghost behind him, too. And it's red. Man, you know your colors, don't you? Red and black back there.
Let's see. I can.
Oh, no. Go back to the red. We like the red. The red's good.
Green.
No. Go back to green.
Red.
Go back to red.
Red. Oh, red. Oh.
Come on. There we go. Let's keep that for tonight. I like that. Cheers.
Cheers.
And
What's up, guys?
hello, everybody is now chiming in, and that means it's time to switch over to the chat, bringing it to the screen. Hello, and Ty, welcome to the
Hello.
new Orion Effect.
Well, I am glad to be here.
We like it. How's the blue room?
It was fancy. I had drinks and a concierge and everything. Y'all want to be on the show?
Yeah, you had the man with the towel at the bathroom too, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean,
Went
he
all
bought
out.
cucumbers and I mean everything. It was great.
That's
Thank
see,
you.
see? You're welcome.
We got
Hope
a
the deal goes
bougie
with
green room, a bougie one.
that. Boozy. I dig it. I like it. So, y'all have been busy. You have been busy. Now, before we get started, I want to say this. Tyler's not just a paranormal investigator.
No, he's
He
not.
wasn't just, no. And he wasn't just grown up at Bell Grove Plantation. He's also a very excellent photographer, which we're going to talk about tonight, too. Yes, girl. We got this one.
You stop it. I appreciate that.
So how are things going there, brother man? We won't poke you too much about the weird and crazy bit.
I mean, I feel like I'm just as busy as everybody else, but I'm busy, man. I'm moving 1,000 miles a minute, something every single day on my pallet.
Yep.
Isn't it crazy this ride we have been on this summer? It's like some people getting together, some not, and it's been a ride. Changes are taking place. Wow. What's some of those things you've been noticing?
Man, I mean, I feel like I've kind of been noticing the same thing you guys were just talking about. It's almost just like everybody's feng shui is just kind of off, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't feel like it's anybody's fault at all. You know, I just feel like everybody's just been a little off, and it's okay. It's okay. It's a season, you know?
Yeah, I think in those kind of times, we all just have to realize that something's off. So don't ever make assumptions, ask questions.
Oh, yeah.
You know, kind of talk it out, make sure that it's not just something that's energetically off.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree completely. I mean, like I said, even with people seeming off, you still just go into every day treating everybody how you'd want to be treated and everything. And at the end of the day, you know, it's going to come around. Everybody will be all right. And it'll be okay.
I concur with that. I think that one of the things we're seeing this year is comparatively to last year, there's a, pardon the terminology, I'm going to use a little swag here, if you will. But I don't know, me using swag? What? But there's a different swing this year than last year. And everybody's got a unique groove going on, if you will, in their own space. And I think some people are colliding and some people are acknowledging. Other people are like, what the hell's going on here? Holy shit.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
Right?
Get off my lawn.
Yeah. Or like some of my inner clique would go, Bobby, what in the hell's going on? Bobby, talk to us. Hell, hey, look, I can't help you, mother, right now. I got my own going on.
Mm-hmm.
I did so good. That's 4 times I didn't cuss.
Good job.
I think something else from January through, if I don't know how y'all would feel about this. I'm going to pop some things up in there while people are talking, make sure people are seen. That's what we're known for. That's Miss Cindra's in the house.
Sandra.
Is again, this is a year for change, and a lot of people are making some significant changes in
Mhm.
their life, or yet it be personal, yet it be physical. There's a lot of changes that are taking place.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I have to say that too. I think this year is going to be a year, has already been a year of different things, and there's a lot more that's coming.
I agree completely. And I mean, heck, at the beginning of the year, I mean, I was gung ho. I said this is going to be my year. And got into it. Of course, you kind of say that at the beginning of every year, but this year I was really feeling it. You kind of feel it in your gut. But then my gut betrayed me, and I lost my gallbladder. So, um, you know,
Setback. It was just a setback.
oh yeah, definitely a setback. But
You know?
um, you know, there has been a lot of changes this year. There's been a lot of things done different than years past. And going into, I mean, if we look at it, closing out the year, because we are going to be closing out the year before we know it. Um, I feel like there's going to be some more big things, happening, and then I feel like going into the following year, I mean, it's going to be awesome.
Oh,
I
I
agree. I
totally.
feel like this is the gear up. I feel like, well,
Yeah.
I look at him like, how are we at the end of July? Like, what
Oh
happened?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Weren't we just bringing in New Year's like 2 months ago? Like,
Hmm.
how did we get here? But it does feel, I'm like you, Tyler, it feels like a ramp up. It's like it's a train that's
Hmm.
starting to really get momentum. And I feel like it's just going to bleed in through this next year.
Yeah.
Mhm. I concur with that as well. I totally concur. Um, we already have people already confirming that on themselves too. I know Jim just mentioned it. Um, we have Renee Cody from Paranormal Outlaws in the house saying hello. James Spence is dropping up in here and saying, I felt some strong energy this year. Absolutely. I mean, well, big things are to come. Cinder's saying big things are coming. Um, Someone just popped in and said, "Hey, Tyler, and everyone, please, if this is your first time, if you never, please,
Who are you?
right? Who are you? Hi, how you doing? Click the link in the hyper. Click that on so you give Restream permission to use your Facebook profile name, so we know how to correctly
Oh,
respond.
that's Cindy from Sweet Spring Sanitarium. Cindy Harper.
Well, there you go, Cindy. Hello, Cindy, and thank you. But click that hyperlink, and we know who you are. So when you say it, we don't go, "Who are you?" Um, Absolutely.
Well, let me
See,
drop her a plug real quick. Cindy Harper
yes,
is the director for Sweet Spring Sanitarium. We were just out there not too long ago, and good lord, she runs that place. I mean, and she loves that place. If you enjoy the history along with these paranormal locations that you go to, you got to go to Sweet Springs, because she adores that place, and she does everything she can to get proper history out to everybody. And I mean, wow, she's just an amazing person, and Sweet Springs is such an amazing place.
excellent. Yes. So there you go. I mean, we're all about making sure that people that come on get their props.
Hmm.
Drop it in there. I'm not sure if they're hitting it or not. Sometimes there might be a link. So I see here, Spence says I get to visit one of those asylums. Yes, you do, James. Spence, you really do. And I see another Facebook saying, hello, thanks so much, guys. Oh,
I
no,
think that's Cindy again.
hit the link, girl. But yeah, no, definitely we want to get those links out there of people um, and the people who support the network and the people, our guests, our hosts, and everything. So yes, totally. Just like we did with Jesse just a few minutes ago, we're a proud sponsor of Ghost of Stanton, GOS. This entire network is, so we want to make sure they are always heard too. Check them on Friday, Saturday, and some Sunday nights. Get your tour, and if you're in the Shenandoah Valley, check it out. It's an amazing tour put on by Black Raven Paranormal. Bam.
Bam.
Um, Let me drop in here one more. Let's see. Cindy does a good job at Sweet Springs. There you go.
Hmm.
Spence says the only issue is not walking one of the asylums and the spirits not flocking to me with spirit gifts. Yeah, Rhonda, how's that feel?
I mean, it's really up to you. I mean, I went into St. Albans quite concerned, like not sure what I was walking into. But if you ground yourself and protect yourself, and have your set of like, this is what I want to happen with this adventure, you're gonna be just fine.
Oh yeah.
There you go. And we see Sarah's in the house. Sarah Bear is here. Hello, my better half has arrived. Kim Sage is here saying boundaries.
Boundaries.
Yeah, that's been a big word for the last 2 months. Boundaries, personal, physical, and spiritual.
It's like having that no square, like no, don't touch me there. This is my
No,
no
no.
square.
Yeah. And another Facebook user saying, hey, please click the link below so we know who you are and giving Restream permission to use your name.
Yes.
Yes. Let's see,
Oh,
I'm
and
trying to find
looks like, yeah, Mike and Shonda are actually going out with Jamie and Zoe's boyfriend. So the other half of my team, I'm not going, but Mike and Shonda Brooks are going out with my team and a couple others to Sweet Springs in August. So that'll be fun.
Nice. Yeah, y'all seem like y'all got a little groove going on now. The groove's starting to pick up. Are you sure? Are you able to get out and start doing things now?
Me?
Yeah.
As far as what?
Well, just getting out and investigating. I mean, how are you?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like as far as like recovery is concerned and everything, man, I mean, yeah, I'm good. I I've gained back all my weight that I lost from the gallbladder surgery. I mean, because I didn't eat for the better part of a month or more. I was eating applesauce and stuff for a month because the splints were in my gut and everything, and it hurt to eat. So when I finally could eat again, I didn't. I ate. But no, I'm good now. I'm still kind of learning, what I can and can't eat, and kind of going with it. So some days are good, some days are bad, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I'm getting out there, investigating as I can. Most of the stuff I'm doing right now is kind of local, besides Sweet Springs, obviously. But most of the stuff is like Hamilton and Belgrove and the cabin and things like that. So
Gotcha.
I found out who it is. It's Michelle Darnell that is showing up as a Facebook user.
Oh, okay. Well, hello, Mama Darnell. Let's drop it one more time. Let me put that in the chat link. Hale, just click that link that I just dropped.
She's on the Rift page.
Okay.
They just walk in the door from dinner
Traveler's
anyway.
page.
So
Sorry.
Oh, days. Perfect place for her to be. Travelers. That's right.
yeah, she's home for a little part of a week, just to be able to rest and relax.
Yes.
So.
We're sending lots of prayers out to Michelle. She's had some health issues herself here recently, but she's a tough lady. She's just hard to slow down and make her heal herself.
Yeah, that's why she came home, is because she needs to actually rest and relax. So
Side of the family my spiritual ability came from. Well, we're probably going to have about a show about that here soon. Spence, we've got a lot of new shows that are getting ready to come out. We have John returning back for Campfire. We're going to have Laura Lee and Dave coming back for Forbidden Door. There's going to be a lot of opportunities for people here in the future to have you on to talk about your experiences. So, yeah, absolutely. Thank you for jumping in here. Absolutely, Spence. Absolutely. Wow, what's Jimmy saying? Oh, yeah. Well, we can hook you up on that too. Don't worry. Just send a letter and we'll connect it up. So let's jump into that. Oh, absolutely welcome, Spencer. Absolutely welcome. So I have a new thing that I want to present and hit it off real quick because it makes it fun. And, I'm going to take this from AJ. That's right. I'm going to give a little props out there to finding the source. Dun, dun, dun. I go, let's open that can of worms now and go. You've been in this long enough, Tyler.
Mhm.
What has so far been your funnest paranormal experience?
Like funnest paranormal experience or funnest trip?
Ah, let us take either or both. It's game
Mm,
time, folks. Come on down.
mm, okay. All right. All right. Well, I mean, I honestly do have to put Sweet Springs up there. As far as paranormal experiences are concerned, I mean, most of the stuff that's like ever happened to me has been at St. Albans. Um, as far as like physically or like I've audibly heard something or like seen. I saw my first full body apparition at St. Albans. Um, but this past time at Sweet Springs, I mean, it was just about off the charts. There were some spots that were kind of like a dead area, and nothing much was happening. But uh, I mean, the activity though, like that we got, it was like in a back corridor, and I'm sure Cindy will correct me if I'm wrong if she's still on, but it was like a little back corridor, like on the second floor, and who was it? Jamie and Zoe and my best friend Parker were up there, and I'd gotten separated from them, so I came back down to the lobby area, to the staging area, and they came back down like a couple minutes later, and they were just petrified. And they showed me like this video of them going through the doors, and then the doors just proceeding to slam like three more times behind them. And at that point, they were like, "No, we got to go." And so we all went back up to that same spot. And I mean, just from there on, like the activity was, I mean, it was crazy. We were getting EVPs. We had a GS2 laser grid going down the hallway, and we were physically watching um, just two shadows move back and forth and toward us and back away from us in the GS2. And we had. Zoe actually at one point through the doors that we came from thought that she saw like a physical person dressed in all white, and of course like the doors are locked from the inside so no one can get in, unless we unlock it and let someone in. But she physically thought that she saw somebody outside the door to the point where like it scared her. And so myself, John, and Jamie all went out the doors looking for this person. Like we scoured the whole third floor and we didn't find a lick of soul, but just extremely active. Now, as far as funniest trip, that I mean, I've had so many, but I think that our trip to Benton Hall, even though the investigation was crap, um, I mean, the trip itself was just so much fun with the guys and everybody else that was there. I mean, it was just so much fun. We laughed like I laughed harder than I've laughed ever before. Um, and I mean, Cresson um, comes in a close second. Even though that investigation wasn't the best either. It was still just so much fun. And that's like 50% of the reason that like I really enjoy going on these trips is just because not only do you get to do what you love doing in going to these places to investigate, but I mean you're with the people that you love and you get to laugh like you don't get to laugh every day. So um, you know Benton Hall in North Carolina, and then Crescent was the funnest trips. But Sweet Springs, I mean, that it was wow. I can't wait to go back. It was spectacular.
So we got a question in Facebook, Tyler. When you were at Sweet Springs, where that all that activity that y'all were having, did y'all get any EVPs or anything to tell you who it was?
We were searching for names, and I actually do think we pulled out a couple names. Um, gosh, I don't recall the name now. I'll have to go back and look. But yes, we got so many EVPs. We got yeah. Hello, mom. Um, I can
She's
literally
on the
hear my
way.
It's funny because I can literally hear myself talking on her phone outside my door.
Echo.
But we got Jamie, my other teammate. She actually had some video, and she doesn't have a cord to download the video. She's looking for a cord because she bought a cord off Amazon, but the cord didn't work. So we're trying to get that video off so that we can, because she actually caught those doors slamming behind her. So we're trying to grab that video so we can show. Yes, and Cindy, I'm definitely going to send you the names once we get them, because there was, I think, at least 2 names that we pulled from the night. John, I don't know if you remember any of the names that we pulled from the night. Yeah, we definitely pulled names, and it was an amazing trip, and I can't wait to go back. I think we're actually going to plan on trying, because St. Albans is actually like an hour and 20 minutes away from Sweet Springs. So we're going to try to do like a weekend trip. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, is that north or south?
So Sweet Springs is north, kind of east of St. Albans.
So it would be about 40 minutes from where I'm moving down to.
Yeah, actually. Okay. Yep, you're right. Yep.
Very nice.
So it would, like from Belgrove, I think it only took us about 2 hours and 45 minutes to get there. So, I mean,
Sarah.
Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna try to make like a weekend of it and do Friday at one, Saturday at another, just because those are 2 of the best locations. So, and very well taken care of, both of them. St. Albans is, very well taken care of by Marcel, and Sweet Springs is, like I said, adored by Cindy. She does an amazing job.
Excellent. So,
Sarah's ready.
I hear you.
That's gonna be fun.
Once she gets a little better, she's feeling a little under the weather right now.
Oh, feel better.
We're amping up to do some things. That's very cool.
For sure.
So let's jump into it, because there are a few people that don't know who you are as of yet. So who is Tyler Darnell, and how did you really get into the paranormal, sir?
Well, my name is Tyler Darnell, and I've been doing this for probably about 10 years. I mean, I had my start before, I really actually got into it. We would do...
Hey, Michelle.
There you go.
She thinks that she got me into it, but I was actually doing little impromptu investigations at and I'm hearing like the reverb now, like you just said, "Hey, Michelle." But I was doing little impromptu investigations at a little private airport that I worked at. There had been a few people that passed away out there from planes crashing and whatnot. What's up, Robert?
Kenny's finally made it. We're like, where the hell are you, dude?
We would do like little EVP sessions with my little Nokia brick phone that I had back in the day. And that's where I got my first EVP. In fact, my mom should remember it, because I brought my little Nokia brick phone back to her and showed her the EVP that we had gotten from, it was a hallway in one of the airport terminals, and showed it to her, and it was clear as day on a Nokia brick phone back in the day, taking EVPs without even really knowing what I was doing.
It's amazing the stuff that we think about now that we captured back then, and we didn't even realize it.
Yeah.
And now we've got that experience, and they're going, son of a holy mother, Eureka back then.
I wish I would have said that,
I know.
Yeah. But fast forward to when she remembers. Fast forward to when Mom got a hold of Belgrove. Mom and Dad got a hold of Belgrove, which was 2011. Well, that's when we opened the doors. It was 2011, and you'll hear her correct me if I'm wrong. But when they opened the doors, obviously there was paranormal activity going on there. She brought in paranormal groups, to do investigations, figure out what was there, who was there. 2013. Yeah.
Rock on, Mama. Keep it talking. Keep him in check.
Yeah, right. It was 2013. Sorry. So, um, yeah, we got our start in 2013. But she would bring in paranormal groups, and we would, or I would, just kind of tag along with them. SVPI was one of the first ones that we brought in, and they had all the crazy equipment and everything. The DVR systems that they ran wires all throughout the house and whatnot, and had a control center. And I mean, seeing that, like myself seeing that for the first time, I was like, oh my gosh, like that is the coolest thing. And they had like baby monitors they would put everywhere. Like everything was so rudimentary before all this, heavy duty equipment, started coming out. Baby monitors, DVR systems, that kind of thing. But I just enjoyed doing it with them. But never really thought of doing anything with it until FPRI came along and became the resident team for Belgrove. Man, of course, I basically did the same thing with them, just kind of tagged along, and as they had their investigations, and teams like RVA Paranormal would come in and investigate and whatnot, and I'd tag along with them, and finally they were, why don't you have your own team? Why don't you have your own team? And I don't know, and push from mom as well. And started Covert Paranormal, and started taking up residential investigations, and doing these private investigations, public investigations, and never really looked back from there. It's just been a fun ride. I enjoy everything I do.
So wait, are we hearing that actually if Mama Darnell didn't have all that time that she needed to deal with Belgrove, that she would actually be a part of Covert?
I don't know about that. Hey, you let her answer that here in a second.
I'm waiting.
I'm waiting.
Oh, come on. Don't leave me hanging. That ain't right.
She's on delay. She said, oh no.
No.
I thought so.
There we go. No.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what? Hold on. Before we go any further, I am going to give some props to your mother, Michelle Darnell, the curator of Belgrove Plantation. She works with spirits magnificently. She has an energy. She has a groove. She communicates really well with them, and they with her. So I need to give that prop out there. This is personal view of what I see. So I want to make sure that gets done. And I'm not kissing butt. I'm just being honest. I don't do well kissing butt anymore.
We've got some questions for you, Tyler. Kim Sage wants to know what's your favorite piece of equipment.
Flashlight.
Really?
Yeah. No, I mean, flashlight, just because the flashlight that I have there is actually super special, and that's just to see. But no, my favorite piece of equipment is going to have to be. It's not really a piece of equipment; it's a whole set. It's the Estes method. I really enjoy doing the Estes method, so it's going to be like the spirit box and the noise canceling headphones. I found it kind of a knack, doing it, and really just tuning in and hearing. So that's spirit box.
And then another one. Have you ever encountered a malevolent spirit?
Yes. And Kim can help me.
Oh
tell
yeah,
us.
I remember that.
Yeah. So, and it's one of the reasons why. Okay, I'll get into it. The cabin on 360 is home to something, and there's been many different stories of what it could potentially be: an elemental, demonic, we don't know, malevolent, malicious, just a grumpy spirit, we don't know. But one night for the memorial fundraiser for Glenn, when we were all there, I had an attachment in the basement,
Oh
and
yeah. I
yeah,
remember these pictures.
of the brick rancher, yeah.
Yeah.
Picked up an attachment there, and um, I mean anybody that knows me knows that I'm not like I'm not a angry person. Like I avoid conflict. You know, I try to fix things before I go looking for confrontation. Um, and this night, um, uh, there was something that attached itself to me, and I got angry. Um, yes, okay. um, yeah, I got angry. I mean, I wasn't talking, but I was angry. My fists were no, James. That's I'm glad you asked. Um, my fists were clenched. You know, I was gritting my teeth. And I mean, I really felt like I wanted to yell at someone or hit someone or something like that. And we went outside and we were just sitting on the back of, I believe it was John's truck, and Kim had, was just kind of like eyeballing me and everything, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I go, mm. Because I mean, I really wasn't. Um, and so she was like, "Come with me," and she did a like a cleansing and everything, and um, I mean, after she cleansed, I felt fine. Um, and so, I mean, that was the first kind of malicious thing that I've really ever encountered. I mean, obviously, we've come across other things that were grumpy or had ill intent or what have you, but that was the first thing that was actually kind of freaky. So,
Yeah. Exactly. A couple people are chiming in on that, and Kim's like, "Yeah, it was a pleasant and fun sure." Kenny
mhm.
recalls, sorry, Robert last year recalls his incident that he had with Charlotte when both actually got sick at the rancher. This is
Mhm.
true.
Yeah,
So these are
anytime I go back there now, I mean, oh gosh, like I am so incredibly careful when I go down there. I'll still go down there, but I mean, you got to be so careful. You can't go in there just willy nilly. You know, no, you can't.
Yeah, and Kim
so
is right. There was a photo of Tyler too taken where his face looked like something was transposed on it. It was very bizarre.
Yeah,
Mhm,
yeah.
exactly. Miss Julie has joined us. Hello, Miss Julie. Thank you for joining us tonight. Enjoy it.
Well,
Big things are coming out of that camp later, and we'll release that when Tom's ready. Um, it's interesting when we go to locations and we think sometimes, oh, they're just figgle faggle, that's just myth or legend, but when you experience the actual effects that people claim to have, it changes the whole
oh,
dynamic,
it
doesn't
changes everything.
it?
Super quick.
So for you, it made you a little bit more uh, consciously aware of
Hmm.
situations, especially if, like, with, let's be honest, the Cabin on 360 is not a historic location. It's an active location, completely
Hmm.
different. It's on historic land,
Yeah,
however, we'll
yeah.
say that. So it kind of takes you into that whole different aspect. And what is it, Tyler? Let's jump into that question real quick. How do you take to now with those experiences, if you will, um, of going to a location that's maybe not historic, but now may have some uh, paranormal activity or haunting comparatively to a historic site? Do you change? Do you change your percent? Do you change your energy? Do you change how you go about doing an investigation now?
Yes and no. I mean, I feel like you kind of go into it the same way as far as like equipment and everything is concerned and whatnot. You're asking the same questions because, I mean, when it comes down to it, you're trying to figure out who and or what may be there. But as far as preparation goes, yeah. I mean, your preparation changes. Um, because, when you're going into a place that maybe is like known for its residual activity and everything like that, you're not you're not as guarded, even though you should be, but you're not as guarded. You're a little more relaxed and everything. But when you're going into a place that's known for its paranormal activity, like intelligence and everything. I mean, you're going into a place where, you know, again, attachments may happen if you're not careful. You may invite something in that's not friendly. Um, so yeah, your preparation changes for sure. But you're doing all the same things that you really are doing in both instances. You're trying to learn who or what may be there. But yeah, just preparation is really what changes.
And that makes a lot of sense. That's why I was asking. So let's jump let's jump gears for a second. What's it like now working amongst the BooCrue with Rhonda, with Kim, with Shayla and John, Sindra, Ronnie? What's it like doing it as a group now, going away and coming back as y'all do?
Well, you better include yourself in that, brother. Um,
Hey, I'm just a voice, man.
no, you're just as much of a part of the boot crew as anybody else. Um, so, I mean, it's great to have like that core of people that you really can just trust and rely on for everything. Because outside of investigating and everything, we're there for each other. They check up on me. Almost on a daily basis. Somebody is from the crew is checking in, saying how you doing, checking to see how your day is going or something like that. And then, when we come together again for an investigation, it's almost like, we didn't miss a beat from the last one. We all know what we have to do. Even when we get to a location that we're investigating, we all split apart because typically we do. And then we'll come back. We'll swap around and everything like that, and or we'll go into a big group at the end of the night or something. But typically we'll split. But everybody knows what they have to do. Everybody knows what they want to do. We don't get in each other's way on investigations. We work very well together. And it just becomes a very enjoyable experience for everybody because everybody's getting what they want out of the investigation, which is trying to see who or what may be at a location, and we just work very well off of each other.
Rondo, let's get your input on that. What do you think? How's it feel now with you as a member of FPRI and pulling and going in and out of this type of circle? Do you think it's helped you
Oh
grow?
yeah. I mean, I think it helps all of us. I think because everybody brings something different to the table. And we all have a respect for what everybody brings to the table. And so it's easy. It's kind of fun to have people to bounce things off of that look at things a little bit differently than you.
Yeah.
And I agree. We can all go do our separate things. When we come back together, it's not like a beat was ever missed.
Mm.
Even before FPRI, I mean, I was with these guys all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's family for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the one thing that a lot of people are forgetting is that family click. When you're able to bring so many people in from so many different groups, they all investigate different, but you're finding that I would say, let me say not you, that's arrogant. I don't want to say that. I want to say I see that the one thing that works with this crew is everybody tends to investigate the same way. And I think that helps. I mean, it really does help because sometimes you have people that just investigate completely different and it can throw a jive off. And then on that, have you ever been on an investigation where the jive has been off? Has somebody come into an investigation, or do you recall a time that it just didn't feel right?
Yes. Yeah. Um, I mean, if I don't know if I can recall exactly a time, but I mean, I know for sure that there have definitely been times we've been on location where just the feng shui was off, like we were saying earlier, and everything. And like I said, it's okay because at the end of the day, what ends up happening if a feng shui is off or someone's doing something that we don't like to do, we literally will go with another member of another team, and it's like a no harm no foul kind of thing. if you split off to go and investigate with someone else, you know, you leave your words unsaid, you know, because there's no need to cause strife or anything like that. Um, you know, you just go off and you investigate with someone else. You come back and everything is fine.
And
Um,
I won't say everybody in the BooCrue investigates the same. I think it's similar, but I think everybody does it a little bit different, and we kind of look on the situation on which method might be the most productive, if you will. I mean, I think everything's similar, but I think everybody's a little bit different.
Yeah, and like you were saying, everybody kind of has like their own thing that they're good at, which is another reason why we split some of the times is, you know, because like Shayla is very good at the Estes method, and I also enjoy the Estes method. You know, that's not to say that I don't investigate with her, but you know, because we both rely on it when we're investigating, you know, in a small group setting, typically, you know, it's better when we do split off because I already know that she's going to be going into the Estes method or I'm going to be going into the Estes method. Now we also do a lot of dual Estes method sessions where we'll sit back to back and you know we'll see if we can you know kind of spit the same things out. But that is like I said, typically why we split because you know we have our own methods and you know techniques that we go about. Like John is super heavy on the EVPs. He's good at getting them. He's good at hearing things. So typically, when you're with him, it's a quiet setting. We're sitting there and we're being quiet, which I do love. Which is why I'm with him all the time. Um, you know, it's very quiet. We're just sitting. We're listening. We're chasing sounds, and then you know, with other groups, more vocal. You know, they like to ask a lot of questions and you know use different equipment. And all of it is okay. All of it's great.
I want to go back because your mom just popped something up, and I really appreciate her saying that. Let me go back and see if I can find it. I just had it up. This, I think that's pretty damn significant, in my opinion. Um, this happens to me at the cabin on 360. Um, do you feel that she's pretty much hitting it right there? That the spirits of Belgrove really have a really working connection with you now there?
Yes.
Mm.
Yes, Tyler, your name comes up when you're not there.
Look, his ass
I
is
mean, I don't mean it's an attachment, but I think it's so much that they like Tyler. They like his energy. They like his presence.
Now, with that,
Yes.
that's a good point, Rhonda, because I think that the locations you go to, the respect you give off is the respect you receive. You're not going in to try to rattle somebody's cage, not trying to go, talk to me, feed me information. Where are you from? You're going in there, hey, what's up? How you doing? How's things going?
Right.
Honda's seen me several times go into the cabin, and before I go in, I knock on the door and say, guys, I'm here. Hello. I acknowledge the entities that are there, not at the rancher, at the cabin. Clear. But I do get responses from that.
Mhm.
Do you feel does that happen with you at Belgrove?
Yeah. I mean, you know, I can confirm that. And you know, it's really, I mean, the same with John. You know, John gets always gets you know incredible responses there. Um, and so, I mean, it's just because we've been there for so long. You know, and it's at some points we're talking to these spirits like on a nightly basis. You know, every weekend or every other weekend. You know, so um, I feel like it's comfortability. Wow, it's because they're comfortable with us.
Howieism. I gotcha. Keep going, man. You got this.
Something like that. Something like that. Yeah.
And I agree with it. I think they resonate with John too because I know when we were at Halloween last year, Kim and I were in the cabin. I think John was in the summer kitchen, and they kept bringing up. We kept getting John's name, and he wasn't even in the cabin. I mean,
Yeah.
in the caretaker's house. So yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? We're almost at the top of the hour. You guys want to take this longer? Are we going to extend the time? Do we want to keep rolling?
Because you're connected to me.
Because it's like we just got warmed up, but it's up to y'all.
Because I talk about their history, talk about them, and you're an extension of me.
Okay, so Mom just came in here and said that because I don't even know what she said, but she just said that because yeah, I already forgot. I'm a goldfish.
It's the extension thing. I got her.
Because you're an extension
You
of
can come on the
her.
screen. You don't have
I
to.
don't want to be on the screen. Okay, so here's the deal. Because we love Belgrove so much, we talk about the spirits, we talk about their past. It's a daily thing that we do every day. I think the spirits actually see Tyler also as an extension of us and respect him for that as well. So
I would agree with that. I would totally agree with that. He's got that look like, No, you got
mom's bombing him. I'm sorry.
Mom bomb. That's why she's not getting
You
on
say
video.
hi? Come up and say hi.
He's gonna come up here.
Come and say hi. Come up. Come
There's
up.
little Ann. There he is.
Emily.
What's up,
Not
buddy? Hey, buddy. I would agree with that. Adding to that, with that connection with you and your mother, the BooCrue has become your friends and your unimmediate family, if you will. I think they embrace that whole connection because I've seen the team at work and everybody's very respectful.
Mhm.
Does that create? Do you think that creates a better vibe at Belgrove?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Encourages.
I mean, yeah, because like I said, when we do like public events and everything like that, you'll see the same groups that come through and assist. Because we ask the same people to come back. Because not only is the investigations very smooth and everything as far as like with the spirits and everything, but it just creates a better vibe and a better experience for the guests as well when everything is going smoothly. The people that are there know what to expect from the spirits that are there and from each other, and we're all able to work off of that and just give the guests that experience, whether something happens or not. um, they're all very well versed in Belgrove, and we're with each other. So
Excellent. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's take a
I'm gonna
3-minute
let-
break. Oh,
I was going to tell James asked a question earlier as well about Tyler having a spiritual gift.
yes, I got that up.
And I will tell you, I have known for a long time that Tyler hears and sees things more than he will acknowledge. There have been times that he's come and told me things. I'm like, yeah, you got it. So I think he needs to work a little bit closer with Kim Sage to bring it out, because I think that would be another new aspect to his own paranormal investigations. But he does have a very good sense of the spirits around him, and they have contacted him.
There it is. See, there you go. Your
And
mother's acknowledging
Mom
these
is now
questions.
getting off before he gets really embarrassed.
No,
Tell me to go rest. Go lay down and
no
rest.
rest.
yeah, you're getting people in here
let's
that say
acknowledge
go lay
Julie.
down and rest.
Acknowledge Lois, and now Brandon is in the house. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us. What we're going to do now, we're going to take about a 3-minute break. This will let you go to your bathroom, get a drink. We're going to come back with Tyler, and we're going to, because I feel like we're just getting into the meat and gravy of this particular show. We're going to just take a small break. When we come back, we're going to get more into the psyche of Tyler and Covert and the BooCrue. And it's all about a Sunday night, relaxing, having a good time with some coffee and friends. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
All right. Travelers and those like, we'll be right back just after this. We're going to take a short break. With that, we're going to come back, answer more questions. Get your questions ready for us to ask as we return back. Take this time, go get your drink and go use the restroom, whatever you got to do. We'll be right back just after this. All right, folks, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for staying with us.
Oh no, I
Great.
can't hear you.
You can't hear me? No,
Did
please
you
tell me you
switch?
can't.
Did he switch to his
I
phone?
can't hear you.
Oh, you really can't hear me?
Mm-mm.
Did he switch to his
No.
phone?
I can't hear you.
Okay, we're gonna try this again. You know what to do. Tyler will be back. We're gonna do this, and we're gonna bring him back in just a minute. Hopefully that will get it said.
Did he switch modes at all? Did he move to his phone? Does he need the 3 dot thing or?
I don't know. He shouldn't have. We had a problem.
That's right. We were just sitting there. We were all there. We didn't move anything. Okay,
Yeah,
that's weird.
We had this problem when he first got on. And travelers and those like, thank you for stay tuned. He will be back. That he couldn't hear me when he first got on, so we had to try like 3 times. He finally got on, and then the next thing you know, here we are. We're right back to we take a break, come back. What I'm wondering if it's the music, because I had the music playing. I took the music off and he could hear me, so that's really weird. It shouldn't be that way. I'm seeing a lot of the platforms having issues with communication with audio, based on audio. So hopefully he will make it back. Let me do this. I'm going to do something real quick. There he is. Let's see. Can we get him? Can he get him on now?
Can't
Don't-
hear you.
You can't hear me?
No.
Seriously?
What did we do last time that we made it work?
We had I sent you a link. So let me go ahead and do it again. Can you hear Ron? Hey Rhonda, can you ask him if he can hear you?
Can you hear me, Tyler? No. I could tell by the look in his eyes he cannot hear me.
Rhonda, can you hear him?
I can hear him. Yes.
Oh, I can't hear him. No, I can't hear you either.
What in the holy? You know what? It's really weird now. All right, hold tight, you guys. We're going to fix this problem real quick. We're going to try to. This is funny. Never had this problem before. It figures one of the members of BooCrue. Now we experienced technical difficulty. What the hell? What the hell? I'm going to paste that. Let's drop that back in there again. Let's see if we can get him back in here. I sent the link back over to him. And everybody, thank you for your patience and drop in. It's right. Spencer's like, don't be embarrassed, mama. We'll see if we can get this back on. I don't know. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes it happens. And I appreciate everybody. This is actually the first time we've had a guest not be able to hear us.
No, that's not true. We
is
had
it-
one, but it was because of the dot thing. He had to. It was on his phone.
Yeah. Hey, are you on the board?
I'm on the board.
Yeah, are you on the board?
What board?
Can you see Tyler?
I can see
guess-
Tyler.
You click him and see if we can bring him on.
What do I hit?
All right, top right.
Uh-huh.
Can you see the little blue button? Does it give it to you?
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm back.
Can you hear us?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, we're back.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. Hello and welcome back, travelers of those like. We have special guest Tyler Darnell from Covert Paranormal with us. We decided to take it a section. After last Sunday and the Sunday before, I'm almost starting to feel when it needs to be extended. There's some shows we don't need extended. Would you agree, Rhonda?
I would agree.
But I think we're starting to feel now that we're doing the vidcasting, we're feeling when the show needs to be extended, and we have that accessibility now. So I think that's really cool. Stand by, technical difficult. DEFCON? We've gone into DEFCON too. I agree with you, Ken. So let's get back into the questions, and let's talk about how does your photography play into your paranormal research now, or does it? And
I mean, it has, but it hasn't because now that I've really gotten into photography, um, it's kind of led me to like when pictures are taken and everything, whether they're mine or not mine, it's really led me to be a very, very particular and strong critique of photos. Um, and so it will play in,
Does,
but it won't.
does
Um,
it play into you looking at videos now too?
I haven't. I'm not the biggest video person.
Okay.
I want to be. Like I'd love to be like a Brandon Johnson out there who's excellent with video and editing and stuff like that. But I'm not. I'm very much a photography person. Um, but as far as photography on location, I'm the same as anybody else. I have my cell phone, and I'm taking bursts of three. Um, and if there is something there in one of those bursts of three, then I'm picking it out. But the difference between me and maybe a lot of other people is just that I'm very much more critiquing over my photo, because I know what effects happen to a lens in different settings and different locations. Um, you know, there's just so much that can happen with that little piece of technology that will render photos a certain way and make you believe that you're seeing something that may not really be there. So um, I it does very much still play a part for me in investigations. I do very much like taking just pictures of locations themselves, because I love to be able to promote, um, and that's something that I'm finding it a knack for, is just really taking good pictures of great locations and the insides, the outsides, and just being able to promote them. Um, but as far as like during investigations and everything, I'm just like everybody else.
Very cool. I think it's like anything, as you learn, just like we're doing with this show, you learn the little knacks, techniques, and
Hmm.
as you grow, the show or the evidence grows. It's just like just then. I'm learning now to expand and put the real spotlight on our guest, and that
Hmm.
was pretty cool. I've never done that before, so I'm like, hey, that's a perfect example. I can now maximize you as you talk. It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
I want to acknowledge, Ronnie did say Brandon Johnson and Don Porter are video guys. They
Yes.
are. They're really great guys, and that
Yeah.
they know what they're doing when it comes to that. And I'll give them props on there for that as well. I want to also acknowledge Robert. No, I am not. Surprisingly enough, I am not at the cabin. This would be something when we came off break that would happen at the cabin, but I am not. I am not. I'm at the home studio, just like Rondo. We're at our home studios today. So, good point. Thanks for bringing that out, Rob. But no. Surprisingly enough, no, I'm not. Um, so, Tyler, do you have a photo specialist that can help you with photos, or do you do it yourself? Good question. Good question, James.
So, like, in what, like, are we talking about editing photos or?
I think it sounds like he's trying to talk about editing and helping you get them developed.
Oh, I do all that myself.
You do it all
And
yourself.
you do really well at it, I must say.
Yeah.
There's some spectacular photos out there of locations and photo shoots as well, of like individuals.
And I agree. Now, let me ask you with follow up with what Rhonda just said. Do you have a photo lab, or is everything digital for you now? Do you do
Um,
any 35 hard or?
No, I don't do any of the like the actual film. I took classes back in high school of that sort of things. I've done black and white, in the 35 and everything. I've done all of that, but I have not invested in like a dark room and all that kind of stuff. It may be something that I do in the future when I can afford a camera that can um, do that stuff. But right now, everything is digital. I'm able to achieve, effects that would rival a black and white camera any day of the week. And he said no analyzing. As far as analyzing photos, I do that myself too, because again, I know what I'm kind of looking for in photos, and I know the different effects that a lens can potentially cause on a scene. But that's not to say, like, when someone shows me a photo, I'm not there to pick their photo apart and say whether it's paranormal or not paranormal. That's not my place to say. I'll say what I see. If they say they see an orb that they truly believe is a spirit, I'm not there to argue that. That's not my place. I may know in my mind what I think it is, based on my knowledge of cameras and lenses and everything. But if someone believes that that's paranormal, that's not my place to say. I believe it with them, 100%.
Yeah, and that's a good point, because we have to remember to openly say we weren't there. We didn't experience what you experienced. We can only go off of someone's trust factor or truth factor and believe in what they're saying,
Right.
because everybody may see a red dot differently, right?
Right. Yeah.
So, and I get your point. I want to answer Ronnie. Ronnie, we cannot. That is part of the network emblem that's embedded in our programming. The only thing that I can move is a QR, and the QR is up there for anybody who wishes to support the RNN and their promotionals, the running of the network, the platform itself, and to help our host and hostesses make special events. So if you wish to share that, if you wish to be a part of it, please, we would be more than happy to accept any donations to help us move forward. But the RNN emblem is an embedded emblem. That signifies who we are, and gives Restream our copyright here on the platform. But I just want to make sure that's asked. Now, Tyler, let me drop that in here. James Spencer. Now, Tyler is an awesome guy. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Anybody that has come across Tyler that I've even spoken to, if they know who he is, which we're making an effort that everybody knows who he is.
Thank you.
No problem, brother. That that's what it's about, getting people out there, and that's why we do this show. It's giving exposure to people that deserve it. It's getting their groups out there, their book, their philosophy, their thought, because everybody has a right thought. Everybody has a right to their own thoughts. And Ronnie, that's fine. Not a problem in asking that, and I appreciate you bringing that up. I've done that on a couple of the other shows, going, but it's embedded. So, Tyler, what's it like now as you're getting out and doing these events? You like how I did that full circle on you? Doing these events and getting a little bit more known. Are you finding that more and more people in the field are actually starting to know who you are? And has that changed how they communicate to you?
Well, I mean, yeah, more and more people are gonna, figure out who you are as you do like public events and stuff like that. Maybe not in the aspect of like a rock star, superstar, movie star, whatever. But that's not what it's about anyway. And so, yeah, people are gonna be like, hey, I know you, or I know who you are, and I've seen your events and stuff like that. And they'll ask you questions about, the events that you run, or the investigations that you go on. I mean, I've had, I think, a couple people this past week after I posted, some more of the pictures of Sweet Springs, asking about Sweet Springs and, the investigations that go on there and whatnot. And so, yeah, I mean, as you get out there and you do more, more people figure out who you are, and more or less, it's a lot of people that are really just wanting to figure out how to do things for themselves, or join a group or what have you. And so, I mean, yeah, you're just normally there to answer questions on how to help someone get more involved. because 90% of the people that are coming to you are just trying to figure out how to be more involved. And I think that's great. So,
And I agree. And let me, you know what? I want to do this because I try to involve her, but, it's not like when we do this, I can't look over and make her laugh or something or try to get her input. So, Rhonda, what about you? I mean, it's kind of like the same thing the last 2 years, comparatively speaking. Do you see a change in the way people communicate to you now, comparatively to when you first got in?
Yeah, I mean, I think people just get more used to your presence being around, so they're like, "Oh yeah, I know who that person is," or "I remember seeing you at this other location or this event." They just get used to you and they come speak to you, and you become friends with them on Facebook and things like that. So yeah, it just
There you go.
evolves the more you do.
Right. Well, I'll tell you, I will. I'm going to make this a funny, but this thing is more popular than I am. I'm just.
it's your icon.
It
You're
is.
right. That's true.
No, everybody knows this hat more than me. I can teach this hat off. Nobody will know who the hell I am. But if I'm wearing a hat or somebody's like, "Hey, that's the Hitman's hat," or "Hey, where's your hat at?" It's ironic. I did an interview last week, and Joe was like, "Hey, Howie, where's your hat?" Oh, come on. Do I really need to do something without this or one of the seven? It is funny because it becomes a part of you, a symbolism of you. Like your photography is becoming a symbolism of your abilities. Rhonda and her mediumship's becoming, her identity. So
Mhm.
I think that's really interesting. I just want to ask that question.
Absolutely.
Tyler Darnell, have you ever been out west for investigations or even other famous places?
Yeah.
How about it there, buddy?
Yeah. I mean,
Where
I've,
have you
I've
not been?
I've been to quite a few places. I mean, Lord, if I could name all of them. The farthest out west I've been is to Tennessee, kind of like right on the Alabama Georgia line as well, to the old South Pittsburgh Hospital.
What was that
Um,
like, by the way? Because the reason I asked that, I was going to, I was getting ready to take a voyage out there 5 years ago, right before they got hit with the whole contamination insulation factor.
mhm,
And I lost my money on it. I'm like, hey, look, I don't want my money back. But
mhm.
I didn't get a chance to go down. Now, I was going to go out there because I've had so many people talk to me about the experiences there. So, what was it like for you at Old Pittsburgh?
For myself, and I know, I mean, John just jumped on as well. It really wasn't active for us, and I hate being or saying that it wasn't active. It just wasn't active for us. That doesn't mean that other people that come in there don't. It isn't stupid because I mean, even with like Sweet Springs, I've heard people say, "Oh my gosh, it was the worst," and it wasn't active, and don't go there and everything. And like, I'm never gonna say that about a location. Um, you know, it wasn't active that night, and we left early, and that again that's again it's okay. If it wasn't active, it's not active. It's just like Belgrove. We can't force something to happen, and we're not going to. Um, and so yeah, it was a really long ride. I felt like we were never gonna get home, like for
Yeah.
real. But I
That's
mean,
that's the way when what you two are talking about Old South. That's the way I would feel when I was going up to Selma Mansion in Norristown. It felt like a
mhm,
long drive. As you do it more, it just
yeah,
became like a I'm going home type thing for me. So I get you. I understand y'all on that drive.
yeah. Oh man, it was something. But I mean, yeah, we do have trips planned out. I'm getting notes from my parents now.
Rock on.
Okay,
Keep
yeah.
it in
So
check.
she had to remind me to make sure I say something before we get off. But
Oh yeah.
so um, yeah. Well, I mean, we have trips that are planned actually farther out than that. We want to get down to Louisiana and Texas. So um, you can go with me to Louisiana. Let me tell you, Mister Robert. Um, October, for myself and for John and for the rest of FPRI is going to be slam packed, and it's going to be literally all Belgrove. So I would love to, and I know several other people would love to as well, but it is going to be slam packed. I don't. There's not a free weekend, in the month at all for us.
I don't even think it's September. I think September and
Yeah.
October we are back to back to back to back.
And even November now. I mean, I know that November is pretty much all booked up as well. We're busy, busy, busy. But stay in contact, and yeah, for sure. But I mean, to go back to James, I mean, I have my little paranormal road trip map, my little pin map that I made right above this, so I can look and see everywhere I've been. But I mean, Old South Pittsburgh Hospital, Benton Hall, the USS North Carolina in North Carolina, the USS Wisconsin here in Norfolk, the cabin.
What was that
the,
like?
Which one?
I have not done that yet. The one in Norfolk.
The Wisconsin?
Yeah.
It wasn't bad. I think I've done my time with battleships. I don't know if I'm going to be back on another battleship again, but it more than anything, it's just a cool experience. Because there's you can count on your fingers. People that have gotten to stay on a retired battleship overnight. So if you have the chance, definitely go do it for sure. Any battleship. But I don't know if I'm gonna be back on a battleship, and I know, yeah, Kim agrees, because she was there, and that's like something that you go and you do, and then you're like, okay, I think I'm good on it. But other famous places, the Ohio State Reformatory, where they did Shawshank Redemption, that was a fun one. We've done Fairfield County Infirmary. We've done what's the other one next to it? I'm drawing a blank now. I'll come back to it. St. Albans. We've got, where is that? New York. We got Wildwood Sanitarium. We've got I don't even know. Sweet
Now,
Springs.
you know what? The one name I'm surprised you haven't said yet.
Okay.
Have y'all been to the Exchange?
No, actually, I have
Really?
not. I have not.
I'm actually quite surprised.
Yeah, that surprisingly enough, I haven't been to the Exchange, to Tuckahoe. I haven't been to Henricus. And those are all places that I definitely need to get. Oh yeah, John. Madison Seminary was the one and that was a super spooky place. Like, that's one of the more spookier places that I've been. There's a vibe down in the basement and up on the third floor that are just like insane. But no, like James, yeah, I've been all over the place, literally all over the place, and still finding places to go.
All right, John says he's been to the Exchange 3 times.
Yeah.
Oh, I can tell you, the Exchange at one point was definitely one of my homes. I helped set it up and with Angel May and at the time Missy, and God rest his soul, her husband. All of us used to do a lot of help out there. So yeah, what you see now is a lot of hard work from Melissa Sykes and Brad Sykes, and me and Ryan C. Jones. A lot of the groups that were part of the clique, the original 7. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's a wonderful place, and it's changed hands so many, about 3 times now, and now they've got a pretty good running circuit now. So, yeah, absolutely.
Winchester House, that is in California.
That one's on my list. I've toured it, but I would love to go there.
I've been to California twice, but that was kind of before my paranormal tenure, so I have not been to the Winchester Mystery House, but that definitely looks like a cool place. Oh yeah, the Octagon Mansion I've been to, I think, 3 times now. So that that's definitely a cool spot as well, and definitely shout out to John and Debbie Cushman, because they are awesome folks, and they run Dinner with the Ghosts.
Exactly. I think we're seeing different camaraderies on different lines now, different levels, and we see it in our social media, like podcasters. We're seeing it now amongst the field. There's always going to be the pros and cons, different people out there. With saying that, though, let me ask you this: who are some of the people that you would really like to get out there and investigate with that you haven't had a chance to do that with, if there's anybody?
Oh man, I mean, yeah, there's a ton of people that I feel like I'd love to be able to get out there and investigate with. I mean, there are some, a couple of celebrity, people that I'd like to. I mean, I personally like the Project Fear group. They're
Okay,
not Destination Fear anymore; they're Project Fear,
right.
um, and that's because they got taken off the network and now they're on YouTube. But I've always just kind of connected with them because it's just very personable. Uh, it's not all gimmicked up and stuff like that. They do freak out at certain things, but it's nothing that one of us or a few of us haven't done every now and again. But as far as people that I would like to investigate with, well, Howie, you one, you know,
Me,
yeah.
I'm flattered.
John said,
You ready? Bring some paint.
yeah, John said he knew that was coming because I have a thing for Chelsea, but we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk
That's
about that.
policy.
But there are a lot of people out there, that I've come in contact with that, obviously it's just been contact and not investigating, but Dana Klaus, I'd like to be able to investigate with. He's a very, very cool guy. I've had the opportunity to talk to him a few times, and very cool guy. I've investigated with MJ countless times, but she's, one that I
What's
really
that like? I'm going to ask you both. What's it like investigating with MJ Dickson?
Oh, amazing.
Fun. Just
Yeah,
fun.
she brings so much to the table. She brings new techniques. She brings her methods and her expertise and what she does, and it kind of livens and freshens everything up. To have different perspectives from across the water and everything, and so more than anything, it just feels fresh. Sam and Colby, no, I wouldn't do it. No. They're professional YouTubers, and no, I wouldn't do it.
That's that.
That's it. No, wouldn't do it. There are a few people I wouldn't investigate with, but anybody that really asks to investigate. I mean, I'm never gonna say flat out no, unless you're just an obnoxious human being for whatever reason. I'm not gonna turn down someone that wants to investigate. I'll find a way to make it happen for sure. I mean, I have people at my work, that say, hey, can we investigate with you or whatever, and I generally and genuinely try to find ways to make it work, however I can. Um, so I want to investigate with everybody, really and truly.
Now, I'm glad you brought that up. What's it like investigating with Jamie?
Jamie is amazing. She,
Gotta give her props.
yeah, definitely. And in fact, her live is actually going on right now too. She should be getting close to finishing up here soon. But she has definitely been, a breath of fresh air. Her and Zoe. Zoe has, her own gifts that she brings, and she hasn't been able to explore them just yet. But they definitely bring that freshness to the table, and they keep me awake when I fall asleep. So it's definitely been a pleasure having them.
By the
And
way, it gets worse as you get older. Just letting you know.
oh no, trust me. I mean, because John's older than I am, and he goes all night, and then I'm sitting here like can't hang with him.
You need
But
to
I'm
bring the
also
pixie sticks.
something. But I'm also like the only person out of the BooCrue that doesn't take down like an energy drink or
No, you're
like
not.
the powders or anything like that. Even if it's natural, I don't do it.
Nope.
I'm generally drinking water or a Gatorade or something like that. And so, when I do get tired, I'm generally not taking one of those to keep myself awake when I'm falling asleep, that's when I'm falling asleep, and I'll fight it, like I will, but yeah.
That's a good question. I'm going to take it to both of you on this one. Y'all are now pretty, I'm going to say, seasoned investigators in the field now. Okay. Do you find it changing in your senses and what you get as your body system changes? In other words, we go from the, hey, I'm in a pumped up power mood to I'm kind of in that mediocre, I'm like kind of like, I don't want to use the word I was going to use. We're just going to say in a calm mode comparatively to when you're at that exhausted point. Do you guys find that there's a difference in your evidence responses through these periods of time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Like 100% yes. As I have noticed, and like I've actually taken log and note, that as I get tired or as I seem to, kind of start to taper off, it seems like activity seems to kind of taper off as well. And it could be because your own energy is depleted, and there's nothing there, for them to be able to give to anymore. Um, you know, and so yeah, I feel like it can taper off with your own energy tapering off. Which is probably why John gets evidence until 5 in the morning, because he has energy even at 5 in the morning. But
Hey, Verge. Good
wow,
evening, sir.
hello.
Thank you for joining us.
From England, hello.
That's right. We have our fans, our travelers coming from England in the house now. I love it.
All right, all right.
All right, all right, all right.
That's awesome.
And I agree. And the reason I look at that is because, there's a study that I think I'm going to apply next year is the effects on our paranormal research in the field. And everybody can understand it, but what if we're taking notes off the side of that, just to see if there's an increase or decrease? Like you said, John goes. He keeps the activity. Is it maybe that when we're in our downtime, our senses aren't as heightened?
Yeah, definitely. Let me tell you, like, um, I can be sitting in the most active haunted place there is, like the place that everybody's like, oh, doom, gloom kind of place, and I'll be sitting in a random hallway, probably with one other person, like just head back falling asleep, and I ain't hear a lick of nothing, because, I'm essentially, turned off, and, yeah, just like you said, when your senses just go kaput, yeah, you're not picking up on much of anything anymore. Your body just says, I'm done. It doesn't matter what's going on around me at this point. There could be a chair that gets thrown across the hallway, and you're like, oh wow, look, there goes a chair.
Exactly. That's
I,
exactly what I was looking for.
I can say that's how it is with the paranormal. Like I feel as I'm dying, like I'm not picking up on stuff. But I will say on a different, and Kim and I were talking about that this weekend. I can remember when I was studying mediumship and psychism and things like that. I remember going to a 2 hour like evening class that I took, and I wasn't sick, but my allergies. So I had taken a bunch of Benadryl and stuff. So I had that like foggy, lightheaded,
Oh,
like you know what I mean, where you've taken a bunch of antihistamines.
uh-huh.
And that night, like, I think it's because I was tired and I just didn't care. And it was like I was on point on everything because I wasn't overthinking it. It was just like, bleh. This is what I get.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wasn't overthinking it. I was just like separated. So I think it can go both ways. But in paranormal, I find once I'm tired, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, it is truly and honestly an energy thing, because like I said, I could be sitting somewhere that the activity is supposed to be off the charts, and if my body is not functioning, then I'm not gathering much of anything, which is why we use cameras and stuff like that, because they do the job that we can't do when we get tired. We leave them running, and we try to get that activity. But then again, you have to think, if you leave a camera, you may pick up something here and there, but it's not the same as if you were there, really physically trying to get that evidence, and asking the questions and giving your energy, applying different channeling methods, that sort of thing. It's just not the same.
And that's a valid point. I was going to go and take this another direction, but I think I'm gonna focus it back this tunnel real quick. When you're on investigation, okay, now let's stick down this rabbit tunnel for a second, because I want to aim this at Rhonda for a second.
Uh,
Yeah, right. When you're feeling that downspout, have you ever taken a moment to re-energize by doing your mantra to recharge up, or do you just let that thing flow? Does it
there
just
are
go?
points and times where you can push through it and kind of get you like raise your vibration back up, but there then that time where you've crossed that level. And the funniest thing is, like, usually when I hit that level where I'm starting to get really punchy and really giggly and really like, I'm done. Like, you just need me to tap out because
It's
I'm
a
done at that
chick.
point. Yeah.
Okay.
But there's a point in time of being tired and drained that you can get that energy vibration back up. But there's also a point in time where you're done. And usually,
You're
for
done.
me at least, it's that punchy, drunk, giggling at nothing, making no sense whatsoever. Then
Yeah.
it's like, I just need to go to bed.
Yeah.
I will say, when we first, and I say this, the organization, when Virginia started first getting organized groups, way back when, see the color, that one of the things is, I know for ASPS we did what they call Ironmans. You start in the afternoon, and it would go till 6 or 7 in the morning. Um, I know that, like, I used the joke about the pixie sticks. I like the joke, but that shouldn't be joking because we really did. Pixie sticks, anything to keep you going. Actually, I have to tell this little funny thing because we're talking about it. I remember we were doing a Facebook Live because we were one of the first groups doing live on location on Facebook. And I'm sitting there on the table. We're all trying to get ourselves together. I know it was 3 o'clock in the morning. And what do I do usually on investigation? Ryan would tell you, I'm going to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to eat. So I've got a Pepsi in one hand, a bag of Funyuns and to my left, or Doritos, can't remember what it was, and I have cheese dip in front of me. So here we're all talking, and I'm eating. You can hear it on the live, clear as day. It's like crunch, crunch. It was swearing, crunch. Oh yeah, crunch, crunch. I don't know if Jimmy's still on here or not, but everybody looked over at me and goes, "We can hear that clear as day." I'm like, "Oh, crunch."
Can you?
Candy, anything that would pump me back up, it would be that 3 to get me to the 4 or 5. Because at that moment, when you are done, you still are done. You need to still pack your equipment. So you still have about 40 minutes. You're like, Jesus Christ, I'm gotta do more,
Yeah.
But there's been other nights where we've had a lot of activity that when you're packing up, they're so juiced up. We are so juiced up. You get more activity on the packing than you did all night long. EVPs, things happening. That happened many a times too. Not just at Bell Nemus, but also up north and 2 other locations. So I just, you got to keep some equipment going when you're packing for
Absolutely.
purpose.
Yeah, 100%.
You
I
know,
agree with that all the way. And eating, because that's actually one of the things that helps to keep me awake. I'll bring snacks, and I'll go to town on some snacks.
yeah.
It depends on
Now,
what you eat, though, because that's what did me in. The last investigation, I had a couple of bites of Tyler's mac and cheese, and dude, I was
Whoa.
through. I sat and ate 3 bites of mac and cheese. I was like, oh no.
that is Sarah's kryptonite, man. No potatoes, no starches. If she eats a potato or starch, it's over. She's done. In about 15 minutes, she's gonna be like, and I'm like, no starches. Nobody give her any chips. Don't give her any macaroni and cheese. No, it's kind of funny, and I'm not like that. Yeah, carbs, exactly. Carbs will kill you, and it knocks her the hell out. It's like, pow. So I get it. That's why there's no carbs allowed on an investigation, maybe for me. And that's different. That's people's metabolism, how they drive, what drives them. Like me, I'll take carbs. Feed me, Seymour. You know what I'm saying? But other people, carbs will destroy you. It's just the way it is. Now, There's another question that came out, man. I love this. Another question, James. Spence has been on hot tonight, and thank you, Spence, and everybody that's asked these questions. Provide
thank
those
you.
out. Rice and coffee. Shut up, Rob.
Drink coffee.
It's true. Anyway,
Give me chocolate Mountain Dew. We're good to go then.
oh, chocolate milk, man. Rice ball? Okay, stop it. I also like Yoo-Hoos. Oh, man, Yoo-Hoos. That's my favorite. Dude, just chug 2 of those things, and I'm like, you know? So, yeah. What do you, on an investigation, do you have any trinkets? Do you use any items for defensive measures when you're out in the field?
Yes, I do. I wear my cross every day, but that goes with me on all investigations. Then I have one that Kim made for me that has, I think it's black obsidian or hematite on both sides of a cross. And there's a certain number on each side of the cross that's supposed to signify, I think, defense or something like that. But so I have that I always wear, especially into some of the heavier places, and then have my hematite bracelet that I wear. It's very heavy, and that's also defensive. So yeah, I mean, I do wear more of the defensive things are for some of those heavier investigations, because for places that may not be as heavy, shungite, that's what it was. Thank you, Kim. For those places that may not be as heavy, I'm not trying to like completely ward off everything that may be there. So sometimes I'll wear things, sometimes I won't, but this cross stays on always. So yes.
Now, here's a science question now. Let's go to earth science for a second.
Oh God.
You
Yeah.
were talking about-
I failed that.
Here we go. Back in the area of the matter. So here's the question. Do you get more responses when you have hematite with you than when you don't?
No.
Have you ever thought about it?
And again, it's a defensive crystal, or if it is a crystal, I'm a stone. Well, or at least I've been told. So it's meant to kind of, I guess, be that kind of that protective barrier, to keep things from latching and from following and all that stuff. So I don't know if I've ever paid attention close enough to see if my stones or anything is causing anything to kind of back off from me. Typically, when I go into a place that maybe is not known for as much activity, I'll go in without anything besides my cross. And if I do feel like something's heavy or whatnot, then I may go and grab something just as an extra line. I'll spray some sage as well, and I have a number of Kim's stuff that she's made. She protects me all over, so and then obviously my prayers and everything. I'll say my prayers, and that's my ultimate protection. Stones are great and everything like that, but prayer is going to trump everything. So,
well, the reason I bring this up is because we know there are certain stones that can give us protection, or we can encourage those stones, or
right.
That's not the word I'm looking for. It's getting lost there for a second.
No, I think what you're getting at is like, I was getting ready to say that, there's stones for protection. There are stones that are supposed to make you more open. But the thing is, all stones are about what intention you put in it. Like, I can look at something that's maybe not necessarily for protection, but say, I want you, stone, to protect me. Mm-hmm. Then that could be my talisman for protection.
Exactly.
Kind of the intention you put in it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. That's exactly right, because I lean to black obsidian and hematite. Now, here's the ironic part. Hematite is carbon. Carbon is a magnified stone. So if you're in the field, you have a magnetized hematite, 2 and 2. Come on, put the connection together. It should encourage certain entities because whoever said EMF detects spirits, they need to get off the spiritual crack. There's no proof in that. However, if we are wearing that, are we affecting the equipment that we have? We have to be aware of the stones that we have on us.
Mhm.
Just speaking on the science side.
Yeah.
So
100%.
these are good points. And can they encourage activity to happen around us too? Rhonda, that's a good point. Can stones encourage activity?
I would think yes, because there are certain stones that are known to heighten your spiritual connection, if you will. So I would assume that there are ones. I haven't really looked into it, but I'm certain there's some that might be amplifiers.
You know what? She's here. Candy. Can you answer that question for us? Do you feel that? Let's add Candy into the conversation real quick because she has a magnificent shop. Let's give it a plug, Rhonda.
Yep, plug to Peaceful Easy Healing in Fredericksburg.
Yeah.
That is Candy's shop. It is an amazing place. I love going there and just hanging out. You will see Kim, Sage, or I anytime, and you're definitely going to see Sindra there. So it's a fun place to go hang out.
There you go. Exactly. So I wanted to see maybe if she was still here, get her input. Kim Sage, if you would have some input for it, go for it on that question. We would love to hear you. So we have technically now got 10 minutes to the technical time of the Orion Effect, and I'm sure we could go all night long, but Cinder's like, hell yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool place. Come hang out with us anytime.
Absolutely. And I would like to get an opportunity to sit down with Sindra and Cindy, or if we can, and sit down with them at the shop, get the shop in. I want to talk to them about that because I would love to go on site with the Orion Effect there to pump the shop and talk one-on-one some shop, right?
Yeah.
So we're getting close. Let's jump in there. Cinder's like, yes, rock on. Who will harm you, but they aren't always true. My friend worked in a funeral home, and one day a coffin with a big guy and it slipped off the top shelf and crushed him. Oh my God, but that's all I just said. Death would. Oh my goodness. All right. Wow, Virgil. All right. Kim says, sorry, I didn't hear husband and child in my ear. Hi, guys. Here's the question before we start getting to the end. Again, Kim, are there certain stones that could help us amplify abilities in the paranormal field when we're on investigation? We'll see what she says now. Tyler, do you have ever had energy points affect equipment or spirit activity? Oh, that's a good question before we,
What do you mean by energy points?
That's what I was. Do you mean like a stone, or do you mean like a cell phone, or like what do you mean by energy point?
I think maybe you should talk about energy spikes, just energy in general affect your equipment where it malfunctions.
Malfunction. Absolutely. All the time. On every investigation. Yes. 100%. Energy affects everything. Everything is energy.
Bravo, sir. Bravo. The doctor says, I like you.
Yes.
Candy says, sorry, my phone dropped off. Okay, we're going to ask that question one more time so Kim and Candy can go, ah.
Oh, Kim's writing a paragraph right now. You know.
I feel like you're right. Candy, are there certain stones?
Rude, Tyler, rude.
that we can use in the field that could enhance paranormal activity? Attract it. We'll use that word. Let's use attract. Yes.
Yeah. Is there any stones or crystals we could use to amplify spiritual activity in paranormal?
All right, here we go. Rhonda, I'll let you hit up on Kim.
I'm more of picking stones that I'm drawn to, all about intentions.
Okay, there we go.
Candy said many of the quartz can help with heightening activity, but also kyanite and turquoise. Don't worry, Kim, I got him.
Sorry.
What is the other one, Candy? And this is one that Kim and Candy and I both have been drawn to a lot recently. Is there's one called Garden Quartz. It's also called Phantom Quartz, and it's supposed to be able to draw in a lot of energy, spiritual energy. So it'd be interesting to see if we could get a piece of it and see if it does anything on investigations. Maybe that's something we should try when we're doing something. Is put out some different crystals and see what we get.
Yeah.
There you go.
Interesting.
There you go. Candy also says, but as it's been said, you can set the intention of any stone, can work it given the job. Oh, well, there you go. Okay. All right. That answers that one. I like that. I like
You're
that.
unanimous.
Yeah. I'm going to just drop that in there because that's long. And yeah, I'm going to have to answer that independently since my family is on the side of Berkshire. But thank you for bringing that up, Virgil. We'll talk. Kenny's here too, and he'll talk about it too. So yeah, they're both saying great ideas, and I think that's something. Maybe a stone wheel, which I've been known to make. I never thought about using it in the field, and now here I am going, that's an interesting possibility.
Yeah.
So great points. So we're right there at the last part of the show. And Tyler, this is where the interesting truth or dare comes in.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
So here's the questions, Tyler. The
Okay.
first question, it's a pro or no. What do you think has been the best thing you've seen about the paranormal field at this point?
The best thing about the paranormal field?
Good question, isn't it?
I think the best thing that I've seen about the paranormal field is the preservation of history, honestly. I really, especially with FPRI going into Hamilton High School, and then obviously, the ongoing mission with Belgrove. And I have one that I'm working here in Norfolk that I'm trying to make work. So we'll see if it works out or not. But just being able to be a part of preserving history and, not asking for anything in return, to me has been the greatest thing that I've seen. We're doing work for a schoolhouse that was built in 1900 to keep it from getting torn down. I mean, I don't know if there's anything greater than that.
There you go.
Same thing with Belgrove and the outhouses and everything like that. It's small, but it helps.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. Now, let's flip the tail, shall we?
Okay.
What are some of the things you would like to see changed in the paranormal field? What are some of the things you'd like to see changed?
No one among me, but I've seen egos, become a thing. Everybody just seems to get a little bit too big for their own head when it comes to paranormal, and they seem to like to think they know more than anybody and everybody, and it's not a good look.
Yeah.
So egos, seem to get in the way of, some people that get out there and do these things. And sometimes it can be a hindrance to our field as a whole, because when the egos get out there and, start pushing their agenda, which is often a lot of times louder than people like our agenda, it's what, the public sees. And it's not a good look for all of us, when those kind of egos get in the way. When we're doing work on, historical homes and stuff like that, and trying to help families that are afflicted, we don't want to be affected by egos and, negative looks from the public. And that's not what we want.
I miss my sound machine, man. I have got to get that thing back up. That made this show a little unique. We're going to get that thing back up. That's the one thing I think that's missing with this particular show, and we're going to have that back. But well said. Well
Thanks.
said indeed. I think we really need to focus more on self and less on somebody else's problem, um,
Sure.
and stop focusing if they don't like us. We should not give a shit if they don't like us. That's their issue, not ours. They don't deserve property in our house.
Right.
So well said. Well said.
Thank you, sir.
A lot of people saying I applaud that, and I agree too. I agree that. I see the one thing that I it was acknowledged to me this past week, and I would have to agree. I have not heard a single person say they regret getting into the paranormal field.
Oh yeah. No.
So I will add that. So let's it's there. We're about to hit that top of the hour, so we need to get that pump out for you guys. Things going on. What do you got going on? What are you going to do? What do you want to do? So let's take the time and get that done now.
All right. Well, let me start with Belgrove real quick. Obviously, you guys know Belgrove well enough at this point.
Belgrove Plantation, and where's it at?
It's in King George, Virginia,
There it is.
middle of nowhere. So with Belgrove, we do have some things coming up. There's always events going on at Belgrove, and we have the Spirits Festival coming up in the first part of September. We have something new that's happening just now. It's going to be for Halloween, and this one is actually going to be a big one because we've got basically like we do for Christmas. We want paranormal teams to come in and decorate essentially Belgrove. You'll adopt a room or a hallway or a dining room, parlor, library, whatever. You'll adopt that space. You'll decorate that space, and then for the last 2 weeks of October, we're going to have guests come through. Guests are going to be staying in the room, and they'll vote on their favorite space of these paranormal teams. And there's going to be 3 prizes, and the prizes are absolutely awesome. The winning team is going to have the chance to do either a public or a private event at Belgrove, held themselves free of charge. If they decide to do a public event, they keep all the money. Nothing is going back to Belgrove. And that's going to be a 2-nighter at that. So you'll have a Friday and a Saturday night to do it. Second prize is just as good, just your team. You have the opportunity to do a private investigation for 2 nights, Friday and a Saturday. And I mean, if you think about it, a Friday and a Saturday night at Belgrove is like $2,000+, because to rent the place for a private investigation in itself is about $1,000 because you have to cover the cost of all 4 rooms. So like a $2,000 value for decorating a room and having people vote on it is pretty darn good. So look in the Covert Paranormal page and a lot of these other pages that have shared it as well, and definitely get you a room to decorate. And there's a lot of other things coming up at Belgrove as well. We will have the Paranormal Boot Camp coming up in September as well. So be looking at that. We have the lockdown that's going to be coming up in September as well. So everything in September basically for Belgrove. And then Hamilton High School, I was asked to mention some things on September the 15th is going to be an investigation, which is, I believe, going to be a Friday. So investigation. And then September 16th is going to be Dinner with a Ghost is going to be there. So that'll be from 6 to 9. And then we'll do an investigation from 9 to 1 in the morning. Don't want to miss that because Dinner with the Ghost is awesome. And then on December let me go to November 5th first. November 5th, Hamilton will be hosting a paranormal night. And essentially that's going to be, we're going to have vendors come in, paranormal vendors. So sign yourself up for a vendor spot there at Hamilton High School. And think of it like a paranormal market, I guess, if you want to think of it that way. Just a bunch of paranormal vendors set up in all of the rooms everywhere in
So
Hamilton.
it's kind of like an expo.
Yes, basically.
Thank you. Somebody's finally got it right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So
I'm sorry.
it's going to be $25 for a vendor spot, and obviously all that money is going right back into Hamilton High School. So come rent you a spot, sell some stuff if you want to sell some stuff. Go look at other people's stuff. It's going to be an awesome time. I'm excited for that one. And then our big one is going to be December the 31st, New Year's Eve. We are going to be hosting a paranormal prom at Hamilton High School. This is a brainchild of John and myself, and it's more so going to be just a hangout than any kind of investigating. But it's going to be run very much like a prom. There will be a DJ, obviously a costume contest. We'll crown Mr. and Miss Paranormal of the night. There will be games. There will be a projector screen that we're going to have an old Atari going on because this is going to be a vintage retro night. So 80s and 90s. So you're going to dress up as your favorite person from the 80s or 90s or what have you. Come
We're
on.
not coming in. You wouldn't come in a prom. You're coming as a character.
Yeah, you can.
Oh,
Unless
okay.
you want to come dressed for prom, then come dressed for prom.
Well,
It's
come
on
dressed
you.
for 80s or 90s prom.
Yeah.
Hey, Madonna's in the house. You know,
Yeah.
little Rick James, baby.
Yeah. Like I said, we'll have a DJ, we'll have refreshments, some light snacks and everything like that. There'll be games, prizes, anything that you can think of at a prom, we will have there. So that one's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of planning going into that one. And once again, all of that money from that is going right back to the high school. So, just want to put that out there that, we don't retain anything. We're trying to help that school get built back up again. And so, these events are helping that school.
There you go. There you go. Rhonda, you got anything else to add in there? Because I know y'all
No, Tyler. Like I've known about some of these things, but I haven't said anything. So the official word is out. We're so excited. Like
Yep.
we are so excited.
And then Cinder just put out there as well. We'll definitely need help. With decorating and stuff for the prom. So we'll start some kind of maybe like a crowdfunding or something maybe. And try to get some funds together to help decorate the school. So just be looking out for the word on that. We have a couple other events coming up before that, so you should start to see like official word probably late August, early September when we start getting really into spooky season. So just be looking out for it.
There it is. Now, Rhonda, again, do y'all have anything for Candy Shop going on? Any other promotions, you and Kim? We want to make sure we
Kim
can.
has a class this weekend. I think it may be sold out, or there may be one or two, but Kim is doing a mediumship class out at Belgrove this Saturday and Sunday. I'll be helping her out with that. We've got that going on. I think we might be doing something out in Fredericksburg in November. Have some tables out there, but check out Peaceful Easy Healing's website. Candy's always got lots of things going on. I think she's got something going on the 19th. I think there's someone doing aura readings out there. Could be wrong about that date, but yeah, lots going on.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. And travelers, those alike, new travelers tonight, and you older travelers, we thank you so much for being a part of this. Thank you, Tyler, for coming on and speaking with us. Hopefully we got another chance here in the future to have you back on. We'll find out what you've been doing. All you older travelers out there, stay tuned. We've got a lot of great things happening. For those who may be interested, we have 3 new shows coming to the network. They will not all start at the same time. They'll be segregated. So we're going to expand slowly. We're not just going to throw it in your face. We're going to give you a little bit and a little bit. The mistress of the book will be the first in line. She'll be coming and delivering her chapters of her verses. We're excited to have her. The next will be another show that'll be triggering and tickling your mind of the mysterious, weird, and unusual. And then the third show, we'll see what happens. We'll see what it brings to you. It may be a little mystery. It may be a little, you decide what the show is. Oh. And until then, travelers and those alike, we look forward to seeing you next Sunday. Tomorrow, stay tuned for Joni Templeton Skinner on her magnificent show, Mysteries Behind the Scenes. We want to check that out. And Tuesday with Mama Raven, Raven's Flock, as she delivers some readings. Nikki will not be on the show this coming Tuesday, but the new shows will be starting in August. In fact, August, the first week of August, kicks off the fall schedule. So stay tuned and see what happens next. You don't want to miss it. As always, we'll see you on the other side, travelers. Make sure to help each other out. Let's be better tomorrow than we were today, and much better than we were yesterday. May virtue be yours.
Everybody have a great week and be good humans.
See y'all later.
We got to get a t-shirt. Be a good human.
Be a good human.
And